we are in the Amar Tithi mood.
Yes,
Yay.
definitely. The excitement is here.
Excitement.
Some little sad, little serious. Anyway, people are planning to go. Some people have decided to go to Mehrabad just for a few hours. And I am also thinking of going there only for observing that silence from 12 o'clock to 12:15. We observe silence there in Mehrabad. So for that occasion, I am likely to go there day after tomorrow. Now, the other day I had received a copy of Glow magazine. That was the winter 2020 issue. And when I was just looking through it, I found an article on Jerry and Shirla. This is an article on Jerry and Shirla. There is a short, part of the biography of Shirla, which is given for printing by Jerry. And it is also stated therein that Jerry died in the month of March. That was a little sad mood for me, sad news for me, because I have very sweet memories about that couple. I think you can hear me, no? You can hear me,
We
no?
hear
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
So I have very sweet memories about that person. What happened is the first time I visited the US for the LA Sahvas, Los Angeles Sahvas, that was in 1998. And I was alone then because they could not make the provision for one more person to accompany me on tabla. So I was traveling alone. And after the programs in LA were over, I had requested the management to check up whether I can pay a visit to Myrtle Beach. And the hosts, the management of LA Center, they made an inquiry. I was prepared to go on my own, spending my money, providing for my traveling and stay. Only the thing that I wanted them to make available some room for my stay. And instead of doing that, they sent me a ticket, airway ticket. Said that why you should spend money for himself. We will sponsor his visit. And that is how I went to Myrtle Beach. I'm really very happy to tell you that the program right from beginning, they were so very inspiring, so very loving, and the people, plenty of love I received from the people. And on the last day when I was to leave for LA and therefrom to Mumbai, on the last day, about 10 boys and girls, they came to the airport to see me off. And we were sitting in that big hall talking about Baba, and everybody was very excited. Even I was very excited because I was a little sad also because after such a good time with LA, with Myrtle Beach Center, I was leaving now. But then when it was announced that I should check in, I asked the people, that boys and girls, to return to that to Multiply Center, because on the next day there was to be a youth service, and there was no point in for them to wait there, because I had boarded the plane. I was going to board the plane, and they all went away, and I occupied my seat on the plane. One American gentleman, middle-aged gentleman, he was sitting by my side, and we were waiting for the plane to take off. 10 minutes gone, 15 minutes gone, 20 minutes gone, half an hour gone, 45 minutes gone. The plane is just stranded there at one place. And everybody is wondering why plane is not taking off. And there was thereafter, after about an hour, there was an announcement in a very sweet voice that the flight is being cancelled because there is some technical problem in the air conditioning system. And it was a great shock for me. What they proposed is, those who want to take back their money, they can. Those who want to rebook for their travel, they can rebook for next day evening. That means I had to pass whole night and whole day. And I was so very worried, so much worried, that how what should I do now? I just checked up my papers. I could not find anybody's phone number or anybody's contact number. And it was really a very tough time for me. I could not decide what should I do now. And while leaving from Mumbai, my son Prashant had given me the number of Jerry, and he had told me that if at all you have any difficulty, you just call on this number, and that person is very helpful. He will help you. And I found out that number. I called, and on the other end, Jerry said, "Pratap, where are you?" I said, "I'm right at the airport." "What you are doing there?" So I had to explain the whole thing, and he had some amazing words for this airway company. And he asked me exactly where you are sitting now. Tell me. I told him that I am sitting right in front of that counter where they are issuing the refunds. And he told me that I will be coming within 20 minutes. You don't move from that place. Don't move. I will find you out. And exactly within 20 minutes, both Jerry and Shirla, both of them came, and they rushed inside. Shirla came to me. She actually grabbed that ticket from me, and she had a very harsh quarrel with that girl who was attending the window for issuing tickets and all that. She said, this is the image you are creating for for a person coming from India. He will take these impressions and tell the people there that the American country is so very forward and so very efficient that they could not maintain the timing of the flight, and they have put the people in a very inconvenient position, in inconvenient situation. And she said, nothing doing. I want booking for tomorrow morning. you do whatever you want, but I'm not going to leave you. I will have that booking for tomorrow morning. And that girl was helpless. One who was attending the window, she was helpless, and she already at last she gave booking for me for the morning flight. And then I very softly told Jerry that the company has paid me $5 as a compensation. Now this you can take. And he got he got so very angry. So what they expect you to do it within this $5, to spend whole night and to spend the whole day within this $5? What what nonsense they are talking? And he went to collar with them, but then I pacified him, and ultimately everything was settled, and we came out. And I thought that they will be leaving me at the center, but Jerry said that no, now you will not go anywhere, you will come with me to my house. Both Jerry and Shirla, they were so very loving. They assured me that I need not worry now. He took me. In the meantime, Mark Palmer, he somehow came to know, and he came to meet us there. And we four, Jerry, Shirla, myself, and Mark Palmer, they all took me to a Punjabi hotel, and there we had dinner, and then we left for their house. I was very comfortably put there, and up to midnight we were talking. Both of them were talking very lovingly about their children. The children were the both. And she told me that every year, all my children, all our children, they gather here in Myrtle Beach, and then we spend good lot of time. And thereafter, uh, after that period is over, after that vacation is over, they go to their respective places. And then the next morning, Shirla prepared breakfast for me. Jerry took me to the airport. He kept waiting there till the till the plane took off, and that is how I was saved. I cannot remember. I cannot forget what they have done for me. In fact, I was so very worried because I knew nothing about. I was all alone. I knew nothing about it, all that methods and systems of uh, US. But thereafter, there was another problem waiting for me. Jerry had informed everybody that such and such thing has happened, and he, Pratap, will be arriving tomorrow by such and such flight. And somebody should come to pick him up from the airport. When I reached Los Angeles, all the people were standing there. So many people were standing there waiting for their guests with big banners. They were just to identify that people. They were holding banners, and I was searching for somebody to whether somebody has come from Meher Baba Center, and I found nobody there. I found nobody. Then I was so very. This is another worry for me. Nobody has come to pick me up from the airport, and I came out and sat there for some time. Thereafter, I wanted to call. Jerry had given me the number of Mark Brutus. He was in Los Angeles then, and I tried to call him. The telephone operator, there was recorded some recorded announcement, and she was repeating it every time I dial. she was repeating the same thing. And I was worrying, why this number is now, I'm not getting this number, I'm not getting this connection. I was worrying about that. And now what to do? I was simply sitting there, 15 minutes passed, half an hour, around about half an hour passed, and nobody has come. So luckily for me, see at times even educated people are become foolish. When I was waiting, luckily for me, a Korean boy, young boy, he had come to the telephone machine to collect the cash. He opened the lock, collected the cash, put them in his bag, and he was again locked the machine, and he was about to leave. I just ran to him and said that, can you please help me? I am not getting this number. And he within a second he connected me to Mark Brutus. And Mark Brutus said, Pratap, where are you? I am right on the airport. And Mayor, one who was our host, she has already left to pick you up from the airport. We have received your message, a message from Jerry, and she has already left. And how you could not find her? I said, I'm just looking for her, but nobody is there. The boy who helped me, he said that you are dialing the whole number, which is wrong. The system is, there is a code number for the nation, there is a code number for the city, there is a code number for the area and the personal number. And since you are there in the city, you have to only dial that person's number. This mistake I was every time committing, and I was not able to understand what the woman is telling me. In fact, all these announcement, unless I unless everything is quiet and I focus on that word to word, then only I can understand. Otherwise, on that haribari, I don't understand. This is how I asked that person in the plane also as to what that woman is announcing, and he had told me that they are canceling the flight and they want us to either take the refund and book for tomorrow morning, evening. Now, as I was leaving the telephone booth, I saw Mehernosh, my host. She was coming down the staircase, and I ran to her and said, where were you? I was searching for you. But then she said that I had some urgent call and then I had to go. Now let us go to our house. And that is how I went to their house. And then everything went on well. There are beautiful certain incidents I wanted to tell you, because when I read there in that Jerry died last March, I was a little bit sad about it, because he had been so much helpful to me. Now, few other examples. I will not take the other subject which I usually take, the subject of Dr. Ghani, but I will continue to take some other subjects for my time in US. In Los Angeles, the first day was the program at one Irani doctor. I do not remember his name, but he was living. His bungalow was there, right on the cliff. Deep down was the ocean. Very deep down there was the ocean. There was seashore and then sea water. And
Dr. Arjan,
sorry,
Dr. Arjan.
I see. So, and I had a program there, and Bhau Kalchuri was there. He was also attending that program. Bhau Kalchuri was sitting on a chair. I sat there. As soon as I went there, I had some chatting with Bhau, and then I started singing and telling so many stories about my life with Baba. So many people, you see, I do not know what was coming out of my mouth, but then people were enjoying so much. One person came to me and said that, Pratap, you are much more than what we had thought about you. You talk so nice and you are saying so nice, and we are really enjoying your program. I thanked Baba, and then when the program was over, all that eatables which were placed on the table, the thing was left for me, except one or two items, was a couple of biscuits and one piece of cake. And I just had coffee and then took those biscuits and ate. This, my host by name Shirin. I was staying with Shirin. Shirin's daughter, she had three daughters. One was married to Minochar. He was dentist. And then another was, she had two girls. And the third one, of course, that's eldest one had one daughter. And the third one was unmarried, who was staying with Shirin. And I was accommodated there with Shirin. This Shirin was so very loving that she observed that nothing was left for me to eat. Thereafter, she asked me, why you didn't eat in the beginning? I said, we never do that. There are two things we observe. One thing, whenever we go for a Baba program, we will remove our shoes. We never wear shoes and sit for the program. Never do that. It is not, it's against the Indian custom. And another thing, that only after the program is over, whatever is there, we eat. Whatever is placed there, we eat. But then in America, as soon as you go there, people start taking their plates and start eating, listening to the program. And by the side by side, they will keep on eating. And that is how nothing was left for me. She observed. Thereafter, every program, she made it a point to take out separate plate for me. she observed this till I left lodge. Every time she will keep aside food for me. After I complete the program, she will place that before me and ask me to eat it. That Shirin used to do every time. Now I happened to tell her that my story. Baba had inquired about my health, and Baba was shown so much of concern about my failing health, and he asked me whether I eat butter and milk. I take milk and butter, which those days I could not afford. And when I told the story to Shirin, thereafter she brought so many types of butter and placed it on the table. And she insisted that I should eat because if I eat this butter which is placed on the table, she will feel happy, as if she will obeying Baba's orders. She is helping me to obey Baba's orders. And a nice time I had with them. One program, the main program, which was for the LA Sahwas, they had I could not take anybody from my side for playing tabla for me, and they had hired one boy, young boy. He was very young boy, and he they said that this boy plays tabla. He has learned tabla, and he can play tabla with you. We have hired him for you. That was a young boy, and before start of the program, he said, "Let me practice with you for some half an hour or so, and then I can play with you." And when we're sitting together, I noticed that he was a very good tabla player. He could play tabla, every tal he knew. He said that I have learned for 12 years tabla from Indian guru. He could play tabla, but then accompanying some singing, that he could not do. And he felt sad about it. He said that I am very sorry that I cannot accompany because I don't understand the rhythm of your singing. I said, don't worry. You sit with me on the stage. If you are able to play, you play. If you are not able to play, don't bother, don't worry. I will manage myself. So my method was, I used to sing one stanza, then explain it and tell some story about Baba. Thereafter another stanza, explain it, and then another story about Baba. And this I continued with the program. And believe me, the atmosphere had become so very charged with Baba's love. My God, um, when I completed my time, my 1 hour's time, everybody in the hall, they stood up and gave a big clap for me. And I was told that the standing up and giving a clap is a special ovation that the people are giving for your program. Now that boy, tabla wala boy, he gave me such a hard embrace, and his face was red with tears. Believe me, he was not a Baba lover. He was a very stranger boy. But when he looked at me, he listened to the program and looked at me, his face had become red. He had wept so much that the whole face had become red. And then I told him, perhaps this is the reason why you have been engaged for this program. So, and Bhau Kalchuri said, Pratap, why you have stopped? You could have continued. I said, how can I continue? Because after that, people are waiting for your talk. No, it was so going on so nice. I was also enjoying it so much. And but then Bhau also gave a talk there, and that was a beautiful program I had there. And in Myrtle Beach, one person from Nacogdoches, he was a professor there. Perhaps his name was Barker. Barker. I am not very sure about his name, but he had come, and when he met me there, he said, "I am supposed to play tabla with you." I said, "Nice. I am happy about it." He said, "I do not know anything about tabla. It is just to be with you that just to be with you, I have come here as a tableist." A very nice person. Um, Once it so happened that uh, Jerry had a program in Myrtle Beach, and by the time the program was finished, it was getting dark, and people must be knowing that I have been warned that you should always wear shoes, high heel shoes, because there are lot of snakes in that area. And I lost the way. I was alone. Every time I just turn around, go around, and every time I used to come in front of that the place where Baba's lady members were staying, and it was creating worry because it's getting dark. The tall trees and some different sounds from everywhere, and I was not finding out a way. Somehow, after so much a very time, I could reach the place. And the next day, when I told that barker, that tableist barker, that I had tough time in finding out this place, thereafter, they never left me alone. They always accompanied me to the place where I was kept for given an accommodation. People were so very loving and so very cooperative that they have given me all chances to be in Baba house. They would leave me, and I will sit inside looking through so many things, so many corners, every corner, every nook and corner, that pillow with blood stains on it, and then the buckets which Baba used for taking bath, and the mug, everything is placed so very nicely. That Bible wherein Elizabeth had kept that note, everything they showed me. Mark Palmer, every morning people would come to prepare breakfast for me because I do not know cooking. So Mark Palmer will come sometimes. I, I at times one Linda, husband name is Michael or something. She used to come for preparing breakfast. Then when I arrived first time on at airport on Myrtle Beach, Mimi and what is his name? Mimi and they both came
Marshall,
to pick. Sorry,
Mimi and Marshall.
Marshall. Yes, both of them had come to pick me from the airport. First, they took me to the market for purchase of some eatables, and thereafter ready eatables, and then thereafter they took me to the place where Baba had stayed after that accident. It was Elizabeth's house. There is some name to that house. It is right on the seashore.
Yupon Dune.
Yupon. So it was right, and I was very excited to see that. It was, of course, we could not go inside because somebody else was occupying, but they showed me that place, and then we came the whole day, practically whole day. This Mark Palmer, who is no more now, he used to attend to me. He has taken me several times to the seashore, because according to Baba's instructions, at minimum 2 people should be there to go to the seashore. Now, something about about my son. Prashant had earlier visited US. He had gone on some official duty, and he was in New York. And I had requested him that uh, I am not, it's not probable for me to go to US because it is just not next to impossible. So for my sake, I was very excited when I used to see the Baba film, Baba moving through the on that by the side of that lake, on that bridge, and thereafter on that barn, and all these places I used to see in the film, and I used to get very excited. But that was not to be in my luck, in my fortune. I asked Prashant that for my sake, you make it a point to visit Myrtle Beach at least for a couple of days. And when he made it possible, he went there by bus right from New York, by bus, whole night travel. And then Jerry had entertained me. Jerry had took him around. And when they went near that lake, Jerry warned him not to extend any of his limbs to the water because that will be good breakfast for the alligators. And Shirla, Prashant's wife, she was teaching Marathi when she was in Mehrabad, when she was in Nagar. She used to teach her Marathi, that vernacular language, and she had made friendship with Shirla. So both of them were very much, conversant with Shirla and Jerry. And when I was to leave, there was a last program in Los Angeles. And I still remember, I have that scene before my eyes when that program, the atmosphere had become so very charged with Baba's presence that after the program, what I saw was everybody was weeping. The stories which I had told then were very touching stories, heart-touching stories. And so many people, they just wept there. And that is how that whole my travel of US was over. When I came back here, and on my usual visit to Mehrazad, Erich shouted on me. She was practically shouted on me, Pratap, what you have done there? Do you know what you have done there? I got scared. Oh, I just, for a little time, I was puzzled. I said, and then he asked Dimana, show him all the correspondence. Right from the time you started your programs, we have kept on receiving mails, and they have all have liked the programs very much. And really, Dr. Gar has been very proud that she had made my choice, and she was very happy. She was very happy that her choice was a right choice. She had chosen me for this LA Savas. That was the right choice, and she was very happy about it. So this was and thereafter, after 2 years, in 2001, I had another opportunity to visit, but this time I took my son with me. That is another story. That is a different incidents during that time. But then my son was there with me for any help, because he was, all these boys are very smart. So I had no difficulty in moving around here and there. We had, for that second visit, the mail which we received from one I just one he had mailed Prashant that your father was here. He had given such beautiful programs, and many centers in US, they want him back, whether he will be able to make another trip. And that is how another trip was arranged for me. And on that trip, my son and I visited as many as 15 cities, 15 cities. In the in the beginning, there was much problem about getting visa for my son. Swarup, his name is Swarup. He plays tabla with me. So a lot of problem for getting his visa. But ultimately, Legam, a person from Atlanta, I was invited for that Atlanta Savas, a person from Atlanta. He convinced, he obtained a recommendation letter from Senate, and he talked with the topmost official, one by name Polaski. In the night, he was talking for about half an hour. And Polaski, he was arguing with Polaski. Polaski was not accepting his request. He said, no, we can't, once we refuse the visa means we don't grant again, we don't consider it. And Legam asked him whether they had sent that recommendation from the recommendation letter, whether he had received that recommendation letter. And he said, we receive so many letters like that, but we are not supposed to entertain every letter. Then Legam said that you must have received so many letters, recommendation letters, but have you received any letter from a Senate?
Senator.
Huh?
Senator.
Senator. And then he was speechless. Polaski was speechless. And then ultimately he said that send that boy to me, I will take interview myself. And he just asked a few questions, and my son could get visa. And in that tweet, we had visited the accident site also. It was a beautiful beautiful trip that we had in our life. I have still some friends, whenever I see their faces. Jeff Wolverton has been always in my contact, because whenever he comes to India, he never misses meeting me. Then Al Grasso, he is also known to me. Mark Palmer was a best friend of mine, really. Mark Brutus had accompanied us in a walk we had arranged from Pune Center to Mehrabad. We had walked for 5 days. He had joined in that walk. I know him. I know Marshall, Mimi, then Linda, all these names I am conversant with. They have given me so much of love, so much of love. I cannot just describe. I think for today's, at the eve of this Amar Tithi, perhaps my time is also over or still time?
We have time, Pratapji.
Huh?
We have time.
We have time, all right.
Yeah.
And now, let me tell something more about our original subject, which we had started about Dr. Ghani. Somehow when we read through the books about Dr. Ghani and Baba's relationship, there is something very special about it. Dr. Ghani had a special place in whole Mandali. When I was just reading something about Dr. Ghani, what I found is that whenever there is some occasionally Baba used to get some religious books read by different people. Baba used to ask Dr. Donkin to read from the gospel. Then Baba would ask Kale Mama to read from Bhagavad Gita. Baba would ask Khak Sahib to read from Quran. And Baba would ask Kekobad to read from Avestha. These are the four main books from where Baba would get something to be read on some special occasions, especially when the new life was to be started. Baba got these portions read by these different people. Now, I was just wondering, in spite of the fact that Ghani was to be present there, Baba never asked Ghani to read some verses from the Quran. What can be the reason? That a question come to my mind. What can be the reason Baba never asked Ghani to read? Instead, Baba had given some other prayers which he had dictated himself and which he asked Ghani to recite. That was during Baba's new life. That was at certain stages. That was at the Manonash meeting. Some such prayers Baba asked Dr. Ghani to recite, but never from that religious book. I was wondering what can be the reason. So, especially I feel that I do not know what made me feel so, but Ghani had close acquaintance with Babajan, Hazrat Babajan. And I do not exactly know, or I just imagine that there must be something, some spiritual give and take in between Babajan, Ghani and Baba, which made special place for Ghani in Baba's group. the once it so happened that after Gani started visiting Baba after Baba was kissed by Babajan. That is from 1916 to 22 or so, 21 or so. And from thereafter, Gani kept on coming and going, visiting Baba very often, every week. Thereafter, he accompanied Baba to Manzil-e Meem. And in Manzil-e Meem, Baba was there for about 11 months. Gani was there right with Baba. Thereafter, Baba went to Mehrabad. Baba selected to stay, to select this place in Mehrabad for his stay. That time, Gani was sent to his family. He chose to stay with his family and Baba allowed him to stay with his family. Otherwise, all the other time, Baba never allowed him to settle in his family life, in his material life. He was so very made for Baba, so much made for Baba, that practically all his life was taken by Baba. His early years, he was Langoti Ark. You know what is Langoti? Langoti is a loin cloth. In the early children, people, they put that wear underwear for the child. That is called Langoti. Langoti is little different, but that is called Langoti. That means the friendship right from that age. He was Langoti of Merwan. And thereafter, after 15th of year, he had been with Baba coming and going. So he was never allowed to settle in his family life. Practically all his life was taken by Meher Baba. Next time, I just complete this talk by one story. When last time I had narrated about the Lonavala incident, when that money lender was killed by somebody and the doubt came on Dr. Gani, and Baba picked him up from that dam and took him to Mehrabad, in the Mehrabad ashram, and the police took Baba's statement that when that murder took place, Gani was with Meher Baba in Mehrabad. And thereafter, Gani started staying at Mehrabad. But his nature was a little bit of mischievous nature. He will create some sort of a mischief, do some sort of mischief, which will annoy Baba. And it so happened once that Baba was so very annoyed with Dr. Gani that he said, now you get away from here. I don't want you to see your face. Get away. I don't want you here. There is no use for you to stay with me. And you pack up yourself and don't show your bad face again. And Gani, like a very obedient child, he was very slow moving man. He went to his room, collected whatever clothes he had brought with him, and then that bag, that satchel in his under his arm, he went and stood before Baba. And Baba got still more annoyed, said, did I tell you that you don't show your face to me again? Still you are here. I told you, get away from here. And very softly Gani says, where should I go? And Baba said, go to hell. Baba said, go to hell. And Gani says, you are there in hell also. In hell also you are there. That is the truth. A truth he has spoken. And Baba had a good laugh, and then he allowed him to sit there. Next time I'll tell some more story about Dr. Ghani. And perhaps next time that chapter of Dr. Ghani we may complete. So for today, would you call Jai Baba Avatar Mirwa ki three times? I think yes.
We have,
Any question? Anybody has a question?
yeah, Matan Nori uncle has question.
It's not question, Kaka. When Baba dropped his body, you are in Bombay.
Yes.
So I thought you will touch that subject for 5 minutes. Your journey
Oh,
to the
yes.
last hours of Baba. Because
All
most
right,
of the
all
Baba lovers, they doesn't. I thought just, as usual, I just try to give something. I want to
No,
take it from you, the stories.
yes. Thank you so much. In fact, that is the proper time. This is a proper time to tell about the story. I was in Mumbai, as I told you, that with Baba's permission, I accepted a job in Mumbai. And I was very comfortable with all the people. They loved me so much. I had started taking part in every program. I used to take whole my family for every program. And about 61 programs, continuous programs, the Bombay Center had arranged. And all the programs, practically all the programs I attended, except that when I came to Pune. Otherwise, whenever I am in Mumbai, I used to attend every program. During that time, my son Prashant, he was having a very bad eczema on his legs, on both his legs, on his one side of the cheek and one ear. They were so very badly affected. His legs were so very affected that if he sits like this, there would be some fluid falling from that wounds. And as the days went by, I was getting more and more disappointed because he has to pass his whole life. And if this should be the condition, what a father will feel, a mother and father will feel. I was really very sad about it. Once I had written a letter to Baba. Baba was in a very strict seclusion. And I in my life, I never took any of my problem to Baba, because I always had to feel that Baba is at such a height, and for my petty problems, why should I bring him down and want him to look to my usual mundane problems? That was my feeling. But then for this particular problem, I was compelled to write a long letter to Baba. I wrote a letter. I purchased a packet for that with a ticket. I put the letter inside and placed it before Baba's picture. And I prayed. I started praying evening prayer, reciting evening prayer to Baba. And during that prayer, a thought came to me. Does Baba does not know this? Why should I disturb Baba in his seclusion? And that the whole thought process was turned, and I didn't post that letter. That letter must be somewhere in my records. It must be still lying. I never touched that letter thereafter. And neither I have tried to search it out. But then once when I came from office, my wife told me that Prashant is having very high temperature, 104-degree temperature, and that I should see the doctor immediately. I was taking some Ayurvedic medicine. That doctor was quite far off from our house. Without entering the house, I went back to contact that doctor, and there was a hall was full with patients waiting for their turn. But this was emergency. I called that boy, assistant boy, and told him that this is an emergency. Just tell that doctor to attend to me. And he obliged me, but then he fired me. He said, you appear to be an educated person. Don't you have the sense to take that boy to some nearby doctor and try to bring down that temperature? You should understand this simple thing. And then he gave some medicine. I took that medicine, rushed back in that mood, because I was really worried that when he said that if that temperature enters his brain, what will happen? And when I came to near my building, I found one man who used to play tabla with us in Bombay Center, and a person by name Barve. He was waiting for me. He was in fact leaving, and I was about to enter the building. I met him there. He said, "There, Pratap, there is very bad news for you." Now I was wondering, already I have faced one bad news. What is the another one? And he said, Baba has dropped his body. My God, for a little time, I was just motionless. I felt as if somebody has administered chloroform to me. Practically, the state neither conscious nor unconscious. But then but he told me that there is a train which will be leaving from Mumbai, from VT station, and Bombay people have reserved one bogie. If you want to join, you can join them there in that bogie. And I climbed up. I was staying on 4th floor. I climbed. There was no lift. I climbed up, and my wife and children were looking very sad. My wife was so sad. She was wondering as to what will be reaction on me when I hear this news. But I had already heard this news. That reaction had already passed on, and then I started packing up to go to proceed to Mehrabad. And then my wife said, her name was Tara, she is no more now. She said, where are you going now? I said, I'm going to Mehrabad. So we will also come with you. I said, all right. But I told them that let me go first, and then I will see the situation, then call you. She had nothing doing. We will come. We will all go together. By that time, surprisingly, by that time, the temperature has come down, but that children were sick. My two children were sick, Meher Nandan and Prashant. Both were sick. Prashant was very much sick. We rushed to the railway station. We found out the bogie. I spread something for the children, and I made them sleep there on that chaddar or whatever bed spread. And both of us were sitting motionless, not talking to each other, not in mood to talk to each other. And the children were just simply looking at our faces. I cannot just tell you how I passed that train journey. It was really horrible time. And at that train was going from Manmad towards Daund. That means after Nagar, next comes Mehrabad. We ran to the guard and requested him to stop the train at Mehrabad, just at that Mehrabad ashram. And the guard said, I agree. You just tell the driver about it. He also not refuse, because everybody understands the situation. And then the train, while going towards down, it stopped in Mehrabad. I got down. I gave charge to my wife, all the children. I ran up the hill. Eras was sitting there near the Baba's body. And when he saw me, he came practically running towards me. He embraced me, and I was uncontrollably weeping. He's trying to control me. He's trying to console me. But then while consoling, he himself is weeping. We have shared good moments together in Guru Prasad, and we could know each other's grief. Then whole day we took Baba's darshan. We spent whole day there. I took children, show them Baba's body. I didn't like to see at Baba's face, because the face which we were used to see was altogether different. This was a face motionless, lying there. And Prashant is asking me why Baba is not getting up. Why is sleeping in the flowers? How could I explain to him why he's sleeping on the flowers? But somehow, in the evening, the Thade family was going back to Pune. And Thade's mother, she told me that, Pratap, you may stay over, but then I am taking your wife and children with me, because there is there is problem for food, problem for stay, problem for sleeping and everything. So you may stay over, but I am taking the children home. That is how she took all the children home. I stayed there for all the 7 days, helping Chagan Masters, helping other people, helping Adi, whatever help they want, and managing. I surprisingly, I do not exactly remember where I used to eat and where I used to sleep. I'm not able to recollect that now. But one thing is definite, that we were spending as much time as possible in Baba's presence, Baba's Samadhi, singing there Baba songs, weeping and singing and weeping and singing. On they kept on extending the date. I still remember that when Hurricane Moore had come and some people were accompanying him, one man from Mumbai, he went and said that it is our suggestion that Baba's body should be preserved as the body of some saintly person in Goa that is being preserved in a special church. There is one church wherein
St. Francis.
Saint
Francis.
Francis. Is Saint Francis or sure? So like that, the body and Hurricane Moore's state answer was, how long you are going to see that body? Today or tomorrow, you won't feel like seeing it. But then they took a decision on 7th day. Ultimately, they announced it and people kept on coming. Rush was increasing day by day. On the 7th day, we all, I asked my wife to come along with the other people. And last day, after the Baba's body was interned, we left and came to Pune. That was a really very tough time. You will not believe, but I could not reconcile with the situation for up to about 1 year. It was always a thought, how are you going to live without Baba? We are so much used to seeing him in Guru Prasad. Even if he doesn't see us, even he is in there in, we had that consolation that Baba is there in Mirazad. Baba is there in Mirazad. But now there is no possibility of seeing him. It was a horrible time for us. Somehow that time passed, but then now since day after tomorrow is Amar Tithi, the same mood is coming back gradually within my heart. And every time we miss him so much. And we always, thereafter I used to weep anywhere. If I am standing on the bus stand, a thought comes to me and I start shedding tears. If I'm sitting in the office, a thought comes to me, I will shed tears. Anyway, it was uncontrollable for me to hold my tears. But then time passes on. Like that, time passed on, and I'm still there, sitting before you, telling you the last story of our beloved passing away. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you so much, Merchant. Your suggestion.
Sir. Thank you, Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Thank you, Pratap ji.
Jai Baba.
Thank-
Jai.
Jai Mai Baba. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, if anybody has question, I will be happy to answer that. No questions. Thank you. So say
Yeah,
Avatar
say-
Mero Bhagi
obviously 3 times.
as you 3 times, as you hear
Yeah.
3 times. By the by, just tell me, who was that girl sitting here before you? She was sitting here. I remember to have seen her.
Who is that, Pratap ji?
Rosaline.
Rosalie?
Rosie.
Yeah.
Jai
Yeah.
Baba.
Jai.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Jai
much,
So
Baba.
Pratap ji.
say Avatar Mere Baba ki jai 3
Jai 3
times.
times. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Avatar.
Mere
Baba
Baba ki
ki
jai.
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 Avatar
Avatar
Meher
Meher
Baba
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 ki
ki
jai.
Jai.
Avatar
Avatar
Meher
Meher
Baba
Baba
ki
Jai.
jai.
Thank you,
Thank
Pratap.
you. Thank you so much, Pratap ji.
you.
Jai Meher Baba.
Thank you, Pratap. It's always a delight to see you and hear you.
Thank you. Thank you.